This is Justin Williams, making another video for you guys. I'm here to make a video about the Stephon Clark police shooting situation. And he talks about, he made hateful comments towards, black women and stuff. This man was shot 20 times and unarmed. The reason why that because he was breaking into cars, he was breaking in windows, breaking in people's backyards and stuff, and stuff like that, which was wrong for him to do. But at the same time, the police was wrong too for shooting him, 20 times like that. The cops should shoot him 20 times like that. He should just told Stephon Clark to raise his hands up, or he would have shot him in the leg. You shouldn't have shot him 20 times like that. That's wrong for the police. But at the same time, Stephon Clark was living the wrong lifestyle. He was living the dysfunctional lifestyle, just like Freddie Gray, Mike Brown, and stuff like that. They were living in the bad lifestyle. They were robbing stores and breaking in people's stuff and stuff like that, which is bad, because you shouldn't do that. But Stephon Clark was wrong for making hateful comments towards black women, him and his Asian girlfriend and stuff like that. But Stephon Clark was just like me. I'm against Black Lives Matter. But Stephon Clark was wrong on many issues. He hated black women, He called it black women derogatory names and stuff. Even though he's a dark-skinned man himself, You should hate on you shouldn't even hate on your own women if you're a dark man yourself. There's nothing wrong with having a preference, nothing wrong with it, but at the same time, you can't be hating on your own women. You can't be doing that, Like I said, if you don't like black women, they outside your race. It's that simple. But you should be hating on your own woman, period. That's why I'm glad that a lot of black women are turning against them. I'm glad that they're doing that, because Stephon Clark was wrong. He was wrong for what he did. By breaking in the windows and going in people's backyards. He was wrong for that, but at the same time, he was unarmed, which was a good thing. Which was a good thing. He was unarmed. But like I said before, Black Lives Matter, are very hypocritical. They don't separate between an innocent man and a criminal getting shot by the police. Look, for example, like an innocent man gets shot by the police, like Eric Garner, for example. Eric Garner wasn't doing anything wrong. He was selling cigarettes in the store. It was free market when he was selling cigarettes outside the store. It was free market. Eric Garner was innocent. He didn't do anything wrong at all. But that Eric Garner situation didn't even have any media coverage at all. But they wouldn't get somebody like Mike Brown, or Stephon Clark, or these thugs, they robbed the store. They get more media coverage. Black Lives Matter, protested for them. But they don't protest for people like Eric Garner or Terrence Clutcher or Alton Sterling. They don't ever protest for those two. They don't get any media coverage at all. But they won't get the thugs like Mike Brown and Stephon Clark a pass, which is wrong. Mike Brown and Stephon Clark and Freddie Gray, all three of them were wrong. Don't get me wrong. Police. I'm rest in peace to Mike Brown and Freddie Gray. But it's saying and Stephon Clark. I'm not condoning what the police did to them, but at the same time, all these three people like Mike Brown, Stephon Clark, and Freddie Gray, they were living a dysfunctional lifestyle where they should not live. And Black Lives Matter is not recognizing that. They don't look at facts. They don't about these people, cause they were thugs. They were thugs and criminals. And Black Lives Matter always defend the thugs instead of innocent people. And it's sad that that Black Lives Matter are not protesting against black on black crime, which is happening every day in these inner cities like Chicago, Memphis, Detroit, Philadelphia, Atlanta. They don't never protest against black on black crime, when a lot of these innocent babies getting killed by these gang banging thugs every day in these cities that I just mentioned. So And don't get me wrong, I'm against police brutality 100%. I'm against it, but at the same time, I'm against black on black violence. I'm against all. I'm against both, and I'm also against the war on drugs in the prison system, which is racist to me. Because I believe all these drugs should be legal across the United States. They should not be banned. They should be legal all across the United States. A lot of these drugs, they should be legal across the U.S. Like marijuana, crack cocaine, heroin, etc. Any drug. But at the same time, Black Lives Matter, they hypocrites. They protesting against a man that hates black people. That's against them. That is so hypocritical of Black Lives Matter, man. That is so hypocritical about them, because I can't stand them. I don't support their movement. I don't support their causes at all. I don't support Black Lives Matter. The only thing that I support is all lives matter. I believe that all lives matter, for real. Because Black Lives Matter, it has turned into a joke now. It's turned into a joke. All they do is defend the criminals, defend the criminals, the thugs and stuff. They defend those type of idiots. But it's sad that we're living in a backward society where people just don't care what they do. Don't get me wrong, I'm not condoning what the police did to Stephon Clark, but at the same time, Stephon Clark was just living the wrong lifestyle. He was hanging out with the wrong crowd. He was racist towards his own women and stuff like that. Him and his Asian girlfriend as well, they was racist towards black women and stuff, which I don't support at all. I don't support self-hatred in the black community. I don't support that at all, because it's weird to me. Because if you're a dark-skinned man yourself, you hating a woman that's your own race, which is selfish, which is crucial, which is cruel to me. I can't feel sorry for a person they're hating their own woman. It's not just Stephon Clark. It's Kodak Black. It's Kanye West. It's Lil Wayne, and some of that extent. So, it's sad, that a lot the way these black men are being raised, in these single parent homes, where's no daddy around to teach these men how to treat women right and stuff like this. It's mostly the mama too, It's sad, Now I said before, and it's sad that most of these black people don't vote. They don't vote at all, They don't vote in these elections anymore. It's sad, They can't. They act like they want to change the system, but they don't. It's really sad. That Black Lives Matter. They're not what they're not doing. Which is wrong. That's why I don't support Black Lives Matter. I don't support these other pro-black militants that are out here. These so-called pro-black militants that are out here are screwing up. They are screwing up black people. They are causing black people to fail. They are causing black people to have this victim mentality, which I can't stand no more. I can't stand black people, some black people that have this victim mentality. I cannot stand them at all. I cannot stand them at all. I think black people, we need to wake up, as black people, and grow up and start our own businesses and stop allowing these foreigners to get in our neighborhoods and start our own business, start building our own convenience stores and soul food restaurants. Don't get me wrong, we got our own barbershops, beauty shops, which is great, but we need to start more, like soul food restaurants and convenience stores and stuff like that. We need to do that more often and get rid of these foreigners out of our communities and stop hating on one another, And Black Lives Matter need to start separating between the innocent black people that get shot by the police and the criminals who get shot by the police. Because every black person is not innocent. When they get killed by the police, it's not innocent at all. Because in Black Lives Matter, it doesn't matter what they do. They don't even separate, but which they need to be separated from the two. So, but anyway, Black Lives Matter need to start looking at where the black people, the way some of these black people that get shot by the police, they need to look at their lifestyle first. They're just protesting before they protest. You follow what I'm saying? and that's how you're gonna get a lot of support from us black people. But now you're not getting any support. But anyway, but this is Justin Williams. Feel free to rate, comment, and subscribe, and add me on Facebook. I'm out. Peace.